I want to speak to you about the world that we're living in that is accelerating literally at an exponential rate. Now, I serve running two organizations, one called the X Prize Foundation and one called Singularity University. And these have given me an extraordinary view of the rate of technological change. And I have to imagine that you all feel this in your heart, your souls, and every day that you're bringing services to your clients. And it really is going to change the world, every aspect of our lives. Not in 20, 30 years, this decade, the next 2 years, the next 5 years. So, allow me to share with you a little bit of a roadmap. I'm going to talk to you first about these exponential technologies. What's happening in the lab today? What's that going to drive to the market in 2, 5, and 10 years? Then we're going to look at, once these technologies are there, enabling small teams to do extraordinary things, how do you incentivize those teams to go out there and literally change the world and solve the world's grand challenges? I call this crowdsourcing genius. How do you get the smartest people in the world, no matter where they are, to help you solve your problems? Finally, we're going to look at the concept of abundance. The notion that we're living into a day and age where literally we're going to be able to meet the needs of every man, woman, and child on this planet. So that's our roadmap. Today, if you stop and you think about it, the power of these technologies are literally enabling small teams of individuals, a startup out of a garage, literally, to create technology that can touch the lives of 1 billion people. We've never lived in a world where a small group can touch the lives of 1 billion people. And this is why I believe we're literally creating a world where we're going to meet the needs of humanity. Now, when I say that to people, when I talk about meeting 7 billion people's needs on this planet, a lot of people sort of stop and say, I don't believe it. I really don't believe it. And I stop and say, why don't people believe this? And I realize that all of us inherently predict the future based on the past. And we predict the future in a linear fashion. And there's a reason for this. Because as humans, as we evolved on the plains of Africa, as our hardware and software of our brains evolved hundreds of thousands of years ago, we evolved in an environment that was best described as local and linear. Now, when I say local and linear, I mean that everything that affected you back then on the plains of Africa was within a day's walk. If something happened on the other side of the planet, you knew nothing about it. And it was linear in that the life of your great-grandparents, your parents, you, your kids, nothing changed generation to generation. Life was pretty much constant, millennium to millennium, century to century. But today, the world is anything but that. Today, we're living in a world which is best described as, global and exponential. Something happens in China and India, you know about it seconds later. Your computers know about it microseconds later. Not only has life changed century to century, decade to decade, it's changing year to year. I mean, think about the technologies that you're dependent on today that didn't even exist a decade ago. I mean, Google was just coming online. Ubiquitous Wi-Fi, Skype, online smartphones, GPS, all these things really didn't even exist a decade ago. But we run our businesses on them. Life is changing at exponential speeds. So this next chart really represents the world today. That flat blue line, that linear blue line is us. It's our Congress, it's our Senate, it's our board of trustees, it's our customers, it's our friends, it's all of us. It's humans. We think in a linear fashion. We don't know how to think any other way. That orange exponential line is technology. It is artificial intelligence, robotics, synthetic biology, digital manufacturing, nanotechnology, computers. They are growing exponential rates. What I mean by an exponential is a simple doubling. 1 becomes 2, becomes 4. And the difference between those two, between the linear way we think and the way the technology world that we're dependent on is growing, is causing a disruptive stress. Or, if you're an optimist, tremendous opportunity. Let me give you an example of what I mean here. So, Kodak, a mainstay company in the United States, 1996, $28 billion, 140,000 person company. Do you know that they invented the digital camera that put them out of business? Incredible. What happened? They said, oh, we're Kodak. We focus on beautiful, high-resolution images. This digital camera stuff, it's a toy. It's for kids. What they didn't understand was the rate of technological growth. And so this year in 2012, that same technology that they invented and they ignored put them out of business. They're bankrupt. And to put an exclamation point on the end of the sentence, guess what? Facebook comes along and acquires Instagram, another image company, for $1 billion with 13 employees. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the world we're living in today, where companies that were once linear are going out of business and exponential companies are coming into existence. And you need to understand the difference. You have to understand what's going on and when is a company literally ignoring the technology that will transform their industry.